Hello, dear sisters. I'm feeling like this is an important video for reasons I don't fully understand, but because I feel like there's this profound significance around this particular video, I'm just going to call in the energies of the Divine Mother for all of us, and just I want us to know that it's my higher self talking to your higher self, and we're just having this conversation of things we already know, but just need a little bit of reminding. So, the topic today is, do I still even want a baby? When that yearning for the baby starts to wane. And I see this a lot with women who have done the Divine Mother activation. Um, they've been doing it, most of the women who've been doing the Divine Mother activation have been in the trying to conceive loop for many years. And the Divine Mother activation kind of helps you end that karmic loop that you're stuck in. And the side effect of that, one side effect of that can be, do I even want this baby anymore? And while that is a shocking, surprising side effect, it is one that should be immensely celebrated, because what this means, and I want you to hear me because I know there are many of you feeling like this, it means you've reached a place, I talk about this all the time, of divine neutrality or divine detachment. Even more to celebrate is that the fact that you have reached this space, and I want you to feel yourself being enveloped by the divine as we're speaking, because it's coming through really, really strong right now. What this means is that the karmic clearing that you've had to do with your spirit baby is done. It is done. And I know I've said this many times, but there's a difference between knowing that the karmic can be done, still kind of stuck in the karmic loop and creating the same things even if we don't have to, and of being detached. For me, if you read my book, you know that my spirit baby daughter started coming to me 3 years before I gave birth to my third son. But my spirit baby daughter came to me because we had karmic clearing to do. And I say this in my book as well, that oftentimes, and this is just in this period of time, I would say from, I don't know, maybe the late 90s until now, or maybe just even like 2000, the year 2000 till now. I'm going to say 2000. That just sounds right. That's really when the spirit babies started acting as guides for us. This wasn't the case before. During this amazing transition we're under right now, we needed all hands on deck because we are doing something that has never been done before. And that is changing the human species while we're living in these physical bodies. We're transforming our consciousness and our biology. If you want to take the example of our divine brother Jesus, he ascended, but he had to die to do it. We are ascending, but we're doing it within our physical bodies. This has never been done before on this earth. And so when I say all hands on deck, Spirit Baby said, okay, well, I want to come and be part of this transition, and I'll allow part of my contract to be that I'm going to act as a guide for my parents to be, so that we can clear karma on the inner planes, so we can make this space for it. So in my case, my daughter helped me do this, and I don't have my daughter here in this plane. So this is really important, really, really important. And I talk about this in the final cord cutting ceremony, and I don't have it for sale on my homepage. You'll have to look through the blogs, the final ceremony. If you're feeling that, it's a good time to do it because the karma is over. We just have to participate in saying it is over. But she came to me to clear lifetimes of karma having to do with illness, caretaking, just like burdensome suffering, but mostly like the caretaking thing. So she and I worked that out together. and she didn't come in. And you know, I talk about this in my book, and it's because the karma was cleared, and instead of getting a very, very sick baby girl, I got this karma-free, baggage-free, joyful boy who happened to be her energetic twin. And now I say all this because it seems like there would be loss there, but because the karma was cleared with my daughter, the need to have her here, the yearning to have her here wasn't there. The karma was cleared. It was like the end. I love you, dear Lila, my daughter, and I thank you for this wonderful opportunity to clear lifetimes of karma, and everything is as it should be. So I got a boy instead, and he is just the most joyful, joyful, joyful light. I couldn't even imagine it any other way. So when this yearning, when this intense, profound yearning that we've had for this baby for years goes away, we think there's something wrong, but there's not. It means the decks have been cleared. Whatever karma, whatever work, whatever soul contracts we made with this baby have been completed. And that is why we should celebrate. Let's take a breath with that while I get a drink. So when I see emails that come to me, if I see posts from women who are saying, I don't even know if I want to do this anymore, I celebrate. I celebrate because I know that the work they had to do is done. And now what, right? Now what? So what happens there is that, you know, I don't know. If I'm being perfectly honest, I don't know. I don't know. I've been told over and over again that if we have a spirit baby, if we want a spirit baby, then there's a spirit baby here for us. What do we do when we reach this place of divine neutrality? We can still have the baby if you want. What I would do is I would surrender it. And you know, if you've done the Divine Mother activation, I'm all about the surrendering it. So you know what? Let's do just a little affirmation, a little prayer right now for those that are feeling the divine detachment. Let's just do this, okay? So take a deep breath. And you know your spirit baby's here, okay? So let's give thanks to the spirit baby. Give thanks for the partnership that you have been on together to clear lifetimes of karma. Do you know the karma you've been clearing probably have nothing to do with this lifetime whatsoever? So instead, you volunteered to be cleanup crew together to clear lifetimes and lifetimes of debris so you could both be in this new place together. And when that yearning for the baby starts to dissipate, it's also because you're feeling more wholeness within yourself. You know that you don't need this soul to complete you. So often we feel incomplete, but that's because we're working out the karma. And so there's still work to be done. And once the work is done, we feel complete unto ourselves. And this is a gift of the spirit baby realm, leading us back to our divinity. So we give thanks to the spirit babies for leading us back to divinity. And we honor this divine detachment, this divine neutrality, where we don't need this spirit baby to come in to complete our lives because we are already complete. Now we can still have the baby if we want, but it's more of a preference. And I talk about this in the Divine Mother activation, when the heart desire becomes a heart disease and we have to change it back to a preference. And now it's just a preference. And maybe we don't even know if we want that preference anymore. Maybe we just want to let it go. So we're just going to surrender that. So take a deep breath as we say, Divine Mother, I am so grateful that the journey that my spirit baby and I were on for karmic clearing, not only for our past lifetimes, but for the whole of humanity. Because when you're clearing karma for yourself, you're clearing karma for everybody. So we honor that, and we're so thankful to Divine Mother that that spiritual contract is now complete. And now we leave it in your hands. I know I am complete on my own. If my spirit baby still wants to come in, he or she is welcome. Let me just know that I am complete as I am right here, right now, no matter what. And I honor the end of this journey. I honor the end of it. And I just surrender it to you, Divine Mother. I give this baby back to you for you to recreate according to your divine plan. Amen. I'm not going to get too much into that because I talk a lot about that in the final cord cutting ceremony. But this is just another level of the divine detachment. And what do we do with that? Well, first we celebrate it because the contract's over, and then we just surrender it, and then we just try and create as much joy in our lives as we can anyway. Now, we don't have to have the divine detachment to end the contract, okay? I've seen many ways that the contract ends, and it's not only in divine detachment. I've seen contracts end in tremendous peace. A tremendous peace, and then the baby comes in. I've seen it end with the detachment, and then the baby comes in. And I see it end in just the utmost despair, where you have to just leave it all behind you and say, not anymore, I don't even want to hear anything about it. That is still the end of the karmic contract, no matter how it presents itself. So even though this video is about the divine detachment many are feeling right now, and the divine neutrality, which is a wholeness unto itself, it doesn't have to be the only expression. It can be through tremendous peace. It can be through this divine neutrality. It can also be through despair. It was through despair and frustration that I ended my own karma. So don't beat yourself up wherever you are on the spectrum, because it doesn't matter. All that matters is that right now the karma really is cleared. And however you need to move on in wholeness is exactly right. And that brings me to, I've been saying this since the end of July. And I'm going to repost the video I did at the end of July about the last thing I'll ever say about trying to conceive, because my own purpose has been dismantling and rewiring, and I still don't know what it looks like, but I know I'm not allowed to heal and preach and teach in the same way. And I have been saying this for months, but that's because it's been taking 7 months to kind of unwire itself from me, to deprogram itself from me. So I really don't know what the future of love from baby is I know I'm not supposed to talk about trying to conceive any longer. And 7 months later, after I've said the last thing I'm going to say about trying to conceive, I feel like the karma has really ended now for all of us. The cord cutting ceremony video I did, I felt like I was cutting the cord of my own karma with the trying to conceive, with the healing that. If we continue, and this is the loop, if we're continuing to heal, then we're not acknowledging that we've already been healed. I got an email from one of my dear customers who I love and have worked closely with the past 15 or so months. And she's one that's in despair. Like, I have to just leave all sites. I can't look at any baby stuff. I have to just put it all away and just forget about this. And while the human part of me feels, I know how horrible that feels, and I have such compassion. The divine part of me is celebrating, because it is within this despair that she will truly cut the cord. And she will find completeness. And if she has to just turn away from all of it, then that is absolutely appropriate. And why did I bring that up? It's because if we have to step back, we have to just step back and say, I don't want to do this anymore, because I think for her, getting off these sites is a great idea. That's because being on sites like this, it can perpetuate the cycle of trying to conceive, of trying to heal it, of trying to get somewhere. And I know for me, I've said everything that I am supposed to say about trying to conceive. and I say this in, the video I'm going to repost, Love from Baby, when I first created it, it was my intention to connect pregnant mothers with their spirit babies. And it was when I was pregnant that I grew so much and discovered unassisted home birth and, really tapped into my intuition. Um, However, I didn't know that there was, some karmic clearing that had to be done. And so I had to delve into the venue of trying to conceive. And this is largely what this site has been about since 2013. My pregnancy stuff and my birth stuff, the birth stuff, frankly, doesn't really sell at all. And the pregnancy stuff just sells maybe to stuff that have been women that have been here doing the trying to conceive things. So I say all this because I don't know what the future is of Love from Baby, because I know we have to end the trying to conceive notion here for good. That doesn't mean that all the past information isn't absolutely valid. There's a whole wave of people that are waking up, and this information will be incredibly useful. So I leave the information here, but me personally, I will not be talking about it anymore. Maybe I'll still be doing birth announcements. Maybe I'll have a new website. I really want to, I don't know. I don't know what it is yet. I don't know what my next level of service is. And this is true for many of us. I'm blabbling right now, but actually I just kind of need to talk about this. There have been many of us in the spiritual field that have built our work in service around being an unhealed healer. So that's true for everybody, unless you're totally enlightened. But those of us who have been trying to still figure it out and helping others figure it out, we've been operating from an unhealed healer sort of place. And I'm not allowed to do that anymore, and nor do I want to. And so I know many are feeling like this, like, okay, I've been doing this for a while now, and it doesn't feel quite right anymore. And so we just have to wait for our new orders as we are being rewired. The rewiring part is the most important thing. Reconnecting with our divinity is the most important thing. The spirit babies' roles for the past 6 years on this site has been helping their mothers clear the karma. 6 years of clearing karma, man. That's a long time. That is a long time, and it's been a hell of a 6 years. But the karma, dear sister, has fully been cleared, forgiven, and released. We've done the work. So if you're stuck in it, do whatever you can to get unstuck. If it's pulling back from fertility, especially if you're involved in anything that says infertility, pull back. If it's pulling back from this website, then do it. Whatever you need to do, put the baby clothes away, just pull back, end the karma, whether it's from a place of peace, detachment, or despair. It doesn't matter. The karma is over. And so it is a time to celebrate, my dear ones, because I know that my work in this venue has ended. And what comes next, I don't know. But I celebrate the journey we've all been on together. And I look forward to the next phase, whatever that may be. I love you so much. I honor you. And I'll see you on the other side.